the evil countries, evil like Russia, evil like Iran. Why are they in the Security Council? These are the dictators. These are the regimes that have been instigating the wars, the chaos in the world, the killings, the murderings, slaughters. These are the regimes. Why are they in that council? I really don't understand. And then we have the United Nations in Turkmenistan or in Kazakhstan or any other country, and they're doing zilch. Nothing is happening. The only thing that they're doing is supporting dictators, is promoting the regimes. I don't see anything these years from United Nations that has been done in support of people. I thought their charter stands for human rights. Either they need to change their charter to showing the actual face of United Nations, that they support the terror Russians, terrorists, Islamic extremists. United Nations has become a political manipulation machine, in my mind, in my opinion. And it's serving the dictators and bloodthirsty genocidal regimes. That's what United Nations stands for nowadays. It needs to disassemble. It needs to go. We need some new organization in this world, the one that is able to provide the human rights and truly stands for it and does not appease the dictators or regimes. So going back to Turkey, Turkey is trying to create OTS, Organization of Turkic States. And they've had, this is a Turan that we've spoken about before with you. They had an international conference with each other, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Turkey, all of these countries, basically, Azerbaijan. And basically, it seems like regimes are trying to just fortify their own power. I really do not think that this Organization of Turkic States is serving us, the people. This is only for the dictators. This is only for the authoritarians. This is only for the regimes. I mean, not only Turkmens have been already hurt by Turkey, repressed and all, but look at the Uyghurs. Has the Turkey supported Uyghurs? No. They actually are basically kissing ass of China. And same thing right now is happening, that they're kissing ass of Russia, of Putin, namely. And also Turkey is trying to get its influence in our Central Asian countries. But how is it going to get its influence if it's losing it? If Russia already has gotten such a stronghold of Turkmenistan, of Kazakhstan, all of our stands. If in the past we limited Russians, since last year, Turkmenistan is flooded by Russian schools. We don't want Russian schools. We can learn the languages, but we don't want Russian schools because that is how Russia is taking and colonizing our countries. That is how Russia is setting its rule. In Turkmenistan, Zhadan and Khramov, two of the influential gray cardinals, were running the whole theater. And these were Putin's people. Right now, Zhadan died, but his propaganda machine is still working. There is a blogger, and he's been in the center of all of these abductions. Anytime that any activist would be contradicting him, he was harassing them, he was going after them, he was making manipulative videos about them, fake, maybe using some like 30% truth, and was manipulating to make those activists hated by the public. And that actually has happened. It happened to me, it happened to many others. And he actually has harassed women mostly. And then when women stepped aside, he started harassing everyone else, the young activists. And now all of those young activists that he was harassing with his whole plethora of Mahama, we call them Mahama, the former KGB, Mahama groups, those activists are in Turkmenistan. And they're in jail, either in jail or Ovodantepe jail, or they're dead. We already heard of one of the deaths, Farhat Meymankuliyev. I want to say that these abductions started with Omurzak Omarkuliyev. He was a young aspiring student. That happened in 2018. They lured him back into Turkmenistan, and then they didn't let him out. When he went to the U.S. Embassy, they arrested him, and since then, we don't have any information about him.
Yeah.
Then there's Azat Isakov, my activist. In 2021, Rashid Miryadov, the foreign minister of Turkmenistan, called the Russian colleague and they abducted my activist from there. They made a theatrical thing about him being deported, but he didn't have a passport on his hands. He was under United Nations protection at that time. Somehow they deported him within 2 days, and they sent me information saying that officially, I have letters, all of those letters, that he left himself. Azat would never leave. Azat Isakov was a pure heart, pure person. He told me, Chaman, I am in danger. And as soon as we started working towards that, Russia snatched him, gave him to the hands of Turkmen embassy. Now there's Juma Sapar, Dadabayev, Juma Sapar Turkmen, we call him. He was abducted in Turkey. They injected him, and then he woke up in Uzbekistan, and then he's an Uzbek citizen. So Turkmenistan asked Uzbekistan to assist it, requesting Juma Sapar be deported from Turkey. So it happened with the help of Uzbekistan. He's in jail now, and I think he is given about 13 years of imprisonment term. After that, it was Farhat Meymankuliyev, Gouran Imamov, Maksat Baymuradov, Roshan Klichev. Now it's Merdan Muhamedov. And among them, there are even more people. It's just we don't have the names of those people, unfortunately. And there are women there too. Again, I don't have the names. I just started collecting all of this information recently. In Russia, there is Azat Isakov, there is Malik Berdi, Ala Berdiev, there are Bikiev brothers. The list goes on and unstoppable, basically. As you can see, Russia and Turkey are like twin brothers.
Yeah.
Helping repress, helping kill, helping abduct the activists.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Turkmen activists these days, but I know that other activists, like Chechen activists, have going through the same type of sufferings.
Mm-hmm.
We would like that to stop, especially Turkey trying to get in the European Union. I don't think it should be given that status. I don't think it should be given the membership. Turkey is not at all a democratic country. Turkey has turned into an authoritarian regime. Maybe not a dictatorship yet, but it's getting close to it. Turkey has become very repressive. Turkey has been breaking the law within itself. Turkey has been going downwards. And it's very alarming. People don't feel like Turkey is anymore Turkey, what Atatürk built.
Yeah.
We call him as our father, all of us. But Atatürk will be ashamed at this point of what the current government has turned, authoritarian government has turned Turkey into. We call upon Turkey to release all of our activists. We call upon Turkey to abide by the international law. We call upon Turkey to respect the human rights, the basic rights. We're not doing anything wrong. We're fighting for our freedom. That's the only thing. Turkmens cannot even travel anywhere. They can't freely live. Even in Kazakhstan, you can travel from, let's say, Kızılorda to Almaty and live there freely, right? In Turkmenistan, if I am from Tashauz region, or let's say Lebap region, or whatever region, Mari region, Balkan region, I cannot live in Ashgabat because I don't have a registration. This is what's happening within Turkmenistan. We don't have the rights even within our own country. We don't have the rights to even travel within our own country. And if a person says anything, that person ends up in jail. There are so many instances and cases of young people being put in jail, and then we haven't heard anything of them. And I've heard in the women's colony, it's even worse. Women who go into that colony, they come out, pardon my language at this point, come out without nipples. This is what Turkmenistan colony is like for women. And then there is a notorious Oğuzhantepe, where all of the political prisoners go. All of them die there. Within 6 months, the political prisoners die. Same thing happens to the religious prisoners. We as people...
Yeah, the tortures are a horrible thing. We should also say and be loud about.
Yes. We would like to actually stand up for the rights of political prisoners, first of all. Because these young men and women that are sent from Turkey, by Turkey, to their death, that's where they go. They go to the notorious Oğuzhantepe prison. And then they're tortured, they're starved to death, they are raped. My activist, I already have a lot of information of what has happened to him. It's gruesome. And I would like not to go deep into it, but since 2022, I haven't heard anything. Turkey has become a predatory state in my mind. Russia, Turkey, North Korea, Iranian mullahs, Assad's regime. I mean, how many predators can we have in this world? It's just very alarming, very unsettling, and we need to change. We need to unite. And you're right. We cannot just stand aside. We cannot just do it alone. We should unite, all of us. You and I have been going to the Ukrainian protests for years now. As you can see behind me, I have a poster. It's a poster from the protest that I went for Iranian freedom movement against the repressions in support of women. And it actually says women like freedom. So we've been doing this forever now, Nurul, you and I. We've been supporting everyone else. I think it is time for us to also do it on our own ground too, for our own ground. Turkmenistan, still under repressions. Russia has gotten its claws into our countries. We would like actually Turkey to be leading, but in the current state that Turkey is, I say no to the organization of Turkic states. Until we feel like we are brothers and sisters, as it should be, there should be no organization of Turkic states. This is wrong. It's the union of dictators, it's the union of authoritarians, and it's the union of regimes. It's the union of killing machines. So it's the union of predators. That's what I call it. The only countries that are not in there because they're not Turkic is Russia, North Korea, and Syrian Assad regime. As you can see, same thing for the terrorist groups like Taliban, Hamas, ISIS, all of those. With the information about this latest abduction that has happened in Turkey, this young man's name is Mirdan Muhammedov. He came to Turkey when he was young. He went to the university. He studied sociology. He loved Turkey. He took it as his own home. His parents are in Turkey now. And they're worried, just like any parents, any of us would be worried about our children. If we don't speak out for a child, who are we then? We're no better than these authoritarian regimes too. Silence is worse than what they're doing. We should speak up for the lives, for the freedom of these young people, of everyone that is being abducted, being repressed. Transnational repressions are a true, real thing right now. And Turkey is really deep in shit in that. Pardon my language, but that's what really is happening. What I would like to do is call for peaceful protesters, anyone who cares for the human life and freedom, to come and support us, to come in front of the Turkish embassy at 3 p.m. on the 31st of July in Washington, D.C. Everyone who has regard to the human rights, to stand with us against the dictatorial, authoritarian regimes, against the killings of innocent people. We would like to also call upon Congress, upon statesmen, upon anyone who has power to help us, to assist us in saving these people. Please, please interfere. Please make our voices heard. Please speak out against the injustice in this world. Turkey, Russia, all of these regimes have become repressive and have affected the world. If it starts in one place, it will come to you too. So together, in collaboration, we can start working against these regimes, and we can start working towards building democracy for everyone. These Turkmens, these Chechens, these many, many other people, displaced people, would not be in every Western country if we could collaboratively save their lives and stand for humanity as well as human rights. I think it is our duty to support, to stand for innocent people. This is what human rights is about. And I would like to call upon Turkey. Please remember your history. Remember who you are. You're not Mankurt nation. You're not a Mankurt state. Ataturk did not build Mankurt state. Ataturk built progressive in education, in freedom. Ataturk built free country. People of Turkey, I call upon you to stand for your freedom, because they have repressed, they have killed, they have tortured our activists, Turkmen activists there, but also, as I can see, many Turkish citizens are leaving Turkey now instead of fighting for their own freedom. Your country is turning into an authoritarian regime. I would like to also call upon Russia terrorist state. Hands off of our countries. Hands off of Turkmenistan. Hands off of Kazakhstan, of Kyrgyzstan, of Uzbekistan. Hands off of the world. It's time for us to unite against the propaganda that terror Russia, that Iranian mullahs, that Assad regime, that China, that North Korea are building. Let's return to our roots of being free people. We were born free. We should also die free too. If we die, we should die of natural causes, not of torture, not of repressions, not of murders caused by regimes. I would like to call upon everyone to stand together with Ukraine, to stand together with Chechens, to stand together with the Central Asians that are fighting against the dictatorial, authoritarian, killing machine regimes. Turkey, I would like to appeal to you, save our young generation. The young generation that believes that Turkey is a democratic state, the young generation that thinks that you are brothers to them. Please save them. Their lives are precious. We value their lives as you would value your own children. Save our young generation, Turkey. Save our Turkmens because they are our future. It's time for change. It's time for changes. We should look upon and towards a better future together. Thank you.
I would like to add also, from my point of view, and generally maybe a lot of civil activists who I'm communicating with will share this opinion. It's important for Turkey to make a decision right now to really listen to the voice of humanity. To stop actually taking an ostrich position, head in the ground. No, you live in a civilized world, such as yourself as a civilized country. You're inside the Europe. You should take serious, important step to correct the human rights. And it's for the good of the country, for the good of the people in the big democratic family. It's only there people can prosper. And if we even create some initiatives, it's only with the civil society that we can achieve some good results. You should not suppress civil society. You should actually listen to the civil society, involve them in the processes of decision making. That will only benefit executive authorities, even authoritarian countries. The continuity of the time demands more and more involvement of the people in decision making process, not just making decision by a group of people or by one person, but actually by many people. And it's nothing wrong if somebody wastes their opinion. You can listen, you can ignore, but at the same time, you have to give a right to listen and not persecute people for their own opinion. So that's something that it's important, and I agree with what Chema just said right now, that organizations that turn their blind eye on this situation should cease to exist. They're good for nothing. So the principles of democracy, human rights should come first, then economic and private interests. And then the balance of two will actually bring prosperity to the nations.
Turkey, there's still time for you to set an example of a democratic country that stands for human rights, that stands for justice, as we know that you were. That is what we believed when many Turkmens came to Turkey. Please remember your humanity, Turkey. You were a big example for us, and we're still warm towards you, but you're losing us. You're losing your own Turkic brothers and sisters. Don't lose us. We're the most precious treasure. People are the most precious treasure. And all of that economic gains that you think you will make from the dictators, you can gain even more from democratic, open nations that we could become. Stand for justice, stand for law, stand for freedom, stand for the life of people. We call upon you to be that country that sets the best example. We believe in you. International organizations such as Human Rights, Amnesty International, United Nations, even though they're the dictatorial machine's tool. We would like to call upon OSCE. We would like to call upon every human rights organization to help us out, to support us. Mirdan Muhamedov right now is in dire danger. We would like to save this young man, one who could actually do a lot of good for his own country. He has been doing this since 2019, and he's been very true to it, to the core of it. Let's save the lives, please.